Ellis was not a bad-looking guy. That was the problem. God took time, carved his jawline carefully, added dimples for decoration, then forgot to add conscience. From campus to community, Ellis collected ladies the way people collect airtime bonuses. He promised marriage with one hand and typed, "I'm not ready for commitment," with the other. One cried so much the neighbors started greeting her with sympathy. And Ellis. He moved on. Scot-free. Smiling. Fresh haircut. His friends warned him.
One day you meet your meter. Meter, ECG or Ghana water? Ghana water, seriously? That's the real deal!
Crystal was different. Not loud. Not flashy. Just calm. Too calm. Ellis duped her gently. With his sweet voice and fake future plans. He even borrowed money to fix something small. The next thing Crystal fixed was a suitcase. 2 weeks later, Ellis opened his door and saw Crystal. With a bag. And a smile that didn't blink. "Baby," she said sweetly, "I'm home." Ellis laughed nervously. "Home, like visiting?" Crystal dropped the bag. "No. Like forever." From that day, Ellis lost oxygen. He went to the washroom, Crystal followed. He coughed, Crystal asked if he was okay. He blinked too long, Crystal asked what he was thinking. She sat beside him. In front of him. Behind him. If Ellis sneezed at 2 a.m., Ellis woke up to say, "Bless you." One day when he tried to go out alone, Crystal smiled and said, "Why would you want to go alone when you have me?" At this point, Ellis was super frustrated. So he started begging. "Crystal, please, I need space." She nodded kindly and said, "Okay." Outside. They were couple goals. Holding hands. Laughing loudly. Matching outfits. Neighbors whispered. "Yeah. Love still exists, oh." I tap into their blessing. Meanwhile inside the house. Ellis hadn't watched TV alone in months. He hadn't thought alone. He hadn't breathed alone. Crystal knew his password. His thoughts. His future. Crystal started losing weight. One night, tired, broken, suffocating, Ellis whispered.
I'd rather die than live like this.
Get back inside. You're not going anywhere. You think death is your escape?
That was the night Ellis understood. This wasn't love. This was karma wearing lip gloss. Every tear he caused. Every lie. Every woman he discarded. They had come back as Crystal. The next morning, Ellis knelt and apologized to Crystal. "I'm sorry. Please forgive me." Not just to Crystal. He called every lady. Some laughed. Some cried. Some blocked him again. But he apologized. Truly.
People think wicked women are born. No, they are made. Before I met Ellis, I was soft. The kind of woman who apologized even when she was hurt. The kind who loved with her whole chest and expected honesty in return. Ellis saw that and used it. Ellis didn't shout, he didn't beat me. He didn't insult me, but he did something worse. He promised. Marriage talks, future plans, how our children will look like him. I believed him, so when he borrowed money, I didn't hesitate. When he said wait for me, I waited. When he disappeared, I blamed myself. That night, I cried so hard that I was scared of myself. Something in me changed, not to wickedness, to clarity. I didn't go to his house for love, but for closure. But when I looked at him and saw that calm smile, the same smile he used to leave women broken, I decided, no, you will feel this one. I didn't beat him. I didn't insult him. I stayed. People think control is shouting. No, control is presence. I followed him everywhere so he would feel watched. The same way I felt watched by Hope. I listened to his breathing because I remembered counting mine during sleepless nights. When he asked for space, I smiled. Space is what you gave me when you disappeared. I didn't plan it. When his soul started leaving, I laughed, not because I hated him, but because men like Ellis always want easy exits. You don't destroy people and walk away through death. I knocked his soul like a coconut. Get back inside. You think pain is quick? No. Pain stays. One morning I looked at him. He was no longer proud, no longer careless. He looked afraid to hurt anyone again. That's when I knew my work was done. Not revenge. Reform. I didn't trap him. I gave him a choice. And for the first time in his life, Kwame chose responsibility. That's when I softened. I was not wicked. I was the echo of every woman he silenced. I was the lesson he avoided. And when he finally learned, I became love again.
Crystal changed. She gave him space. Actual space. She laughed more gently. Loved more freely. Ellis changed too. He learned patience. Respect. Accountability. The neighbors still envied them. But this time, the happiness was real. Ellis didn't meet his meter to be destroyed. He met it to be corrected. And Crystal. She wasn't wicked. She was just the lesson he refused to learn early. Ellis married Crystal. Not because he was forced. Not because he was trapped. But because every time he imagined life without her, his soul checked its head to see if it was still intact. Their wedding was loud. Neighbors came early. Friends shouted, "You're lucky, oh." Some ladies stared at Crystal like she used juju. Ellis smiled, but inside his heart whispered, "Behave." When the pastor said, "If anyone has an objection," Ellis's heart paused. Crystal smiled sweetly. Nobody objected. Ellis exhaled. Ellis tried romance. Breakfast in bed. Pet names. Soft voice. Crystal raised an eyebrow. "Who taught you this?" Ellis replied quickly. "Fear." They laughed. But Ellis still slept with one eye open. Not because Crystal was bad, but because memory is loud. One day, Ellis's friends came around. They joked. "Yeah, Ellis, so you're now a good man." Ellis laughed too hard. Yes. Yes. Very good. Oma brought drinks. One friend whispered, "Blink twice if you need help." Ellis blinked once. Ellis looked at him. Ellis blinked normally again. One evening, Ellis came home late. Old Ellis would lie. New Ellis sat down and said, "I messed up. I didn't plan my time well. I'm sorry." Crystal studied him. Then she smiled. "Thank you for telling the truth." That night, Crystal slept deeply. No dreams. No soul inspections. Just peace. One night, Ellis said, "You saved me." Crystal replied, "No. I met you where you refused to look." Ellis didn't become perfect. But he became aware. Crystal didn't become soft again. She became wise. And together, they built something rare. Love with memory. Peace with accountability. Joy without escape routes. Some people don't change when you cry. They change when life sits them down and says, "Today, we learn."